Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History Fella channel. Today I thought I'd do a video on, I'm going to call it the Bigger Book Special. Those kind of books that, normally we buy a book and it's full of text and we're able to sit and read it or read it in bed, but these are like what they sometimes call the coffee table books. So rather than big thick books, we're going for big square books. So of course everyone's got a few in their collection, and I've got a few here in my collection. So we're going to start off. This one's called Men of the Battle of Britain, a supplementary volume, and that's by Kenneth G. Gwynne. And basically it's only a thin book. There's not many pictures in this one, but that's mainly, there's an example. It's basically an encyclopedia type book, or a who's who of all the men that flew for Britain in the Battle of Britain. And it's full of entries in alphabetical order of all the pilots, all the men that flew in the planes, all the gunners and all that sort of thing. And it's basically like a Wikipedia entry for each gentleman that took part, whether they survived or were shot down, and they're all in this book. And it makes a fascinating reading, some of the brave deeds that these men took part in, and it's amazing the amount of hard work and bravery that took place, and it's a really fantastic book. But this is Men of the Battle of Britain, the supplementary volume, and this is by Kenneth G. Gwynne, and that's by Frontline Books. Right, the second one is actually the third naval book I've got. I tend to find quite a lot of big books and navy books. And this is called The Spoils of War, The Fate of Enemy Fleets After the Two World Wars, by Aidan Dodson and Serena Kant, and that's by Seaforth Books. And it's basically a history. It's got lots of text and lots of brilliant photos and technical details. Really fantastic of each of the ships that were involved in the two wars. But it basically tells you what happened to the ships, whether they were sold to other countries to make up their naval strategy, or whether they were just scrapped, or whether they were sold off, or whether they were cannibalized into other types of ships or machinery, whether they reused or recycled anything as well. But it's a really good book, and it gives you an idea of what happened to countries' navies, really, because so many ships were built for the wars. Right, the third book is called Till Victory. It's basically a Second World War by those who were there, and that's written by Clement Horvath. I apologise if I've pronounced the name wrong, but that's by Pen and Sword Books. I'll give his name another go. Maybe it's Clement or Clement Horvath. And this is basically into the book, or the author interviews about 40-50 different men that fought in the Second World War, and produces photographs of like the kit, the equipment, the places they fought, all the paraphernalia that goes with war, and it tells the story of what they did during the war. It's a very good book, it's very informative, and the pictures are great. My only complaint about the book is it's very US centric. I think about 70% of the stories involve American servicemen, and then you have like a handful of Brits and a couple of French soldiers thrown in. But it concentrates on those that served mainly in the army in Western Europe, 39 to 45. But it's still an excellent book. I really enjoyed reading it, and it's got excellent photos of the paraphernalia and the uniforms, the kit they use, the hats, the helmets, the flags, ration packs, the fashions of the day. So that was that one. And then the third book is back to the Navy. This is The Modern Cruiser, the evolution of ships that fought in the Second World War, and that's by Robert C. Stern. And really, like the title says, it's like a really comprehensive book that looks at individual ships during the Second World War, and it produces fantastic photographs and details of every single ship, and it's a really comprehensive read, full of lots of detail, and certainly one, because obviously the size of the American Navy, certainly one, if I was American, I'd want to give that book a read. And then the last book I've got is a bit of a strange book. This is Armoured Cruiser Cressy, detailed in the original builder's plans by Andrew Chong, and that's published by Seaforth Books. Actually, the last book was also a Seaforth book as well. But basically, this book is it looks at the one particular ship, the Cressy, which was a British ship. But inside, it's full of details. Let me get to a couple of decent pictures. It shows you like all the designs and drawings, and it's very architectural in its pictures. It's a bit like having the solid plans for the ship, and almost as if, you know, if you wanted to build your own, you could. Here are the plans, go ahead and build it. It's a really fascinating book. I know they have done a series of these on different ships, and it'd be interesting to see which particular ones, because obviously we all have our favourite ships. So that's Armoured Cruiser Cressy, which is a British naval ship, and that's the last of the those particular books. I do have a collection of big US Civil War books, which I might do another video on. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please let me know down below in any of the comments, you know, maybe you've got big books that don't get recognised much and you'd like to tell me about them, or we'll show them off a bit more as well. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time for another video. Thank you very much for watching.